Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the Dr. Gwen podcast show on iTunes. And very good afternoon to everyone. I am very glad to be here with you again today. And tomorrow is a special day for many people. And yet, I'm also aware that tomorrow is a sad day, too, for many people. It might not be a happy day for you. However, today I want to talk about your spirit of thanksgiving. Your spirit of thanksgiving. And there are many things that we give thanks for during this time of the year. And these are things that help us to feel good. Many times we're feeling jovial, we're feeling light, we're feeling exhilarated, we're feeling happy. This is a season of year going into the next month or so when many people feel like they are on top of the world, that everything is brighter, that things are happier. There's a sense of urgency, happy urgency in the air that people take on. And this is a time of year when we strive to reach out to other people, those of our friends, those of our relatives, those of our dear loved ones, to cause them to feel important. And I want to bring to your attention something that I think will make a huge difference for most of us. Because you see, a lot of us wait for one single time of the year, maybe twice, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when we bring on this feeling of happiness and abundance and fulfillment. And I'm not naive to think that every single person on this planet is feeling this way. Certainly not everyone on the planet is celebrating Thanksgiving at this time of year. However, those of us here in the United States, and those of you around the world, if you have a similar holiday that is Thanksgiving, you will relate to what I'm saying. Now, why do we feel this tendency of exhilaration and love and abundance during this time of year? It is for the same reason that we can generate this particular feeling at any time during the year. And what is that reason? That reason of giving, of loving, of exchanging, of really supporting and lavishing our love on the people that we care about. And so you notice that what comes with this time of year is people feeling accepted. They're feeling accepted, right? And they're feeling as though things are lighter, things are brighter. What I want to suggest is that any time of the year can feel like this. If we take on that feeling of thanksgiving, that feeling of thankfulness, that feeling of love, that feeling of giving that most people experience during this time on into the holidays in December. It's not unique to this time of year, yet many people lock themselves into believing that this is a time of year only when they can feel happy and fulfilled. And if you ask them anything outside of these next 2 months, they might feel something completely different. But that magical experience is gone. And what I'm here to say to you today as we do our empowering reflection is that that magic can begin and stay with you for the whole entire days of the year. It doesn't have to be restricted to 2 months of the year or 3 months or whenever you celebrate something special. We can make our life that purpose to celebrate. Just the fact that we are here and we are alive. There are many things we can be grateful for. There are many things we can love for. There are many times that we can give And it doesn't have to be this time of year. And by involving ourselves in these three main activities that are associated with this time of year, the gratefulness and the thankfulness, the love, an exchanging of love, and the giving, if we make those three components a regular part of our lives, what we will experience is a similar level of ecstasy throughout the year, because it can't help but happen. Now, there may be some things that you're thankful for right now. It may be your relationship. It may be just the fact that you were able to get up and breathe life today. It could be just a simple fact that you have an income coming in. Whatever it is that you are thankful for is something worthy to be thankful for right throughout the year. But maybe you may be someone who at this time may not feel thankful. As I said, I'm not oblivious to the fact that sometimes this time of year is very depressing for a number of people. And it could be because they've lost a loved one, maybe they've had a divorce, or they've had a death, or somebody just is not around that they really enjoy being around. And so they implode on themselves and stay in that dark space and in that world that robs them of the ecstasy that they can experience. And I want you, my friends, to feel that ecstasy and that wonderful peace and joy that is possible for you if you were to be completely void of whatever it is that's causing you to be in that circumstance. So I need you to do a little bit of reflection right now. And what I need you to do is to look inside. And if you are not one of the people who is feeling happy and joyful and ecstatic about life, then what I want you to do is to take a look inside and see, what is it that is causing you to feel that void right now? Why are you feeling the void? Is it a relationship? Well, let's go there. If it is a relationship, why are you feeling that void? See, you staying in that state of mind for the entire year or for a significant portion of hours in the day is not healthy for you. And it doesn't bring about that joy and peace of mind that will cause you to live your most empowered life. So you have to take a look at that circumstance and dissect it and look inside to help you to climb out of whatever that phase is that you're currently in. So let's go there. Is it a relationship? Perhaps, ladies, a relationship with someone that you really love and care about. See, I understand there were times when my Thanksgiving were a little cloudy as well because of relationships. And what I had to do in those moments is to dig deep down to find where the joys were, because it wasn't a happy place for me. It was extremely sad. And so are you feeling sad right now about something, someone who is in your life? Ask yourself, what is the reason? Is it something that is missing from that relationship? And if it is something that is missing and you answered yes, then your next question is, what is it that is missing from the relationship? Is it something outside of you that's missing? Is it something you feel your partner could provide? And if it is, then the next thing to do is just not to sit there and let an opportunity slip through your hands of causing your own circumstance to be different. Sometimes it may involve a little bit of pride swallowing and a letting go of ego and just bearing yourself and simply stating what is. If it is missing and it's in your court, then you need to step up to the plate and provide it. Maybe there's something your partner has expressed that is a lack in the relationship. Don't let ego rob you from stepping out and stepping in and delivering that. Is it something that is missing that your partner can provide? Well, guess what? People don't read minds. And it is not even responsible to sit there and pout and be angry about it continuously without your partner even knowing what's wrong. And if they ask what's wrong, you may end up saying nothing, but you're pouting anyway. Give that up. Those are childish behaviors. And those do not belong in a relationship, particularly if your needs are being stifled. So if you have a need, you have to step out and make that request. What is that need? And already in one of my previous recordings, I've outlined how you express that need. You don't go out and say, well, you make me this and you make me that and you, and blame. However, you take it from your perspective. I am feeling a lack right now and an emptiness in the relationship. And it's not something that I desire to have with you. These are some of the needs that I have that I would like you to start fulfilling. Ask, ladies. The guys, sometimes they are a little dense. Sometimes they don't get it because they're so much more simpler than we are. We are so complicated and we make this big to-do, and the guys get really confused about us and how we make this big wave when if it's a simple request and they know about it, they could fulfill it. Now I know not all guys will step up to plate and fulfill it. Some are just full of themselves and some are just plain mean. However, you know your partner. Make the request anyway. Do not make that be the thing to stop you from making the request. Because quite frankly, you could just be creating a story that does not exist when you say that. He's mean. Make the request and see what happens. Now, once you make the request, you have to keep living your life in a cordial manner, not one that's tit for tat, exchanging anger for anger, but one where you're just continuing as an adult with her life moving on in a plain, normal way, without any drama and without anything like that. So you've got to come to the relationship with a level of maturity, even if it's missing in your partner. So make that request. Now, what else may be the reason why you probably are not feeling thankful and grateful in that relationship? If it's something missing, we already now addressed how you could possibly approach it. However, what if what if there is something that is happening in that relationship right now that you are not in approval of? Something that maybe frays the boundary of your living and of your own self-respect. What if that's what's happening? Then once again, it comes down to the point of making that request. However, you need to understand that your self-respect is much more important to you in any circumstance. I'm not asking you to be a doormat where people are going to trample on you and speak to you just about any way they can. Listen, if that's what's happening, you need to just cut it right now, because if you're hoping that by hanging around and taking that, the respect will grow, it's never going to. It's going to only get worse. And you've got to put your foot down and say in no uncertain terms that this is not going to continue And if it does, what will happen? And be prepared to take on whatever you say will happen. If you're going to say, I am going to leave, then be prepared to leave. Because the next time it happens and you don't do it, you just reinforce that behavior a little bit more and made it just so much harder to overcome it. So you may want to say, if it continues, then I'm going to refuse to come in your presence, to cause you to be disrespectful, whatever it is. I'm not giving you solutions. You know your own life. But you have to be willing to state what will happen when those boundaries are violated. Also, though, is the unhappiness right now as a result of a choice that you are not making? Is there a choice that and an opportunity that's presenting itself for you and you are fearful about making it? Well, you know what I say, fear is a dream stealer. Fear is not real. Fear is an imposter. And fear should never ever stop you from taking on something that you want to take on to improve the quality of life. So, if that's what's making you unhappy, then I have a free resource for you that I am going to post the link for at the top of this broadcast, so you can click on that link and begin to understand how to overcome that fear that may be stopping you from reaching out to achieve whatever it is that's in front of you. Because my friends, if that's what's stopping you from enjoying this season of Thanksgiving, which I feel needs to go on for 365 and a quarter days of the year, but if that is what is stopping you, then you have to conquer fear and step out. That fear is not realistic and it's not real. And I feel that I can help you overcome that fear if you reach out and we schedule a session that we can talk about how to conquer those fears and to overcome them. But before that, there's a free resource that is available that I will post the link for, that you will be able to access and to get a hold of and to get a handle of whatever it is that you need to do to overcome that fear that may be stopping you. So for goodness sakes, take advantage of those opportunities that are coming your way. And if there are none, start creating some. But you may just not be looking enough, because when you open your mind to a certain way of thinking, all of a sudden, a lot of opportunities that you would have previously missed now confront you. They now show up in your space. They were there all along, but just because your mind frame and thoughts have switched, now you can see them, whereas before you couldn't. So look for the opportunities, take advantage of those opportunities, and instead of sitting down and waiting for those opportunities, step out and create them. So, is your Thanksgiving bright? Is it light? Is it exuberant? And if it is not, my encouragement to you is to put those steps in action that we just talked about and step out, make those requests, set those boundaries, choose those things to choose from, or choose your choices, right? Choose those choices and look for those opportunities that are right in front of you and take advantage of them. And click that link that I will provide and access a free training that will help you to overcome those fears that may be stopping you at this time. Listen, my friends, have the most amazing Thanksgiving. And I will not be here tomorrow or Friday. However, I am thinking about you, and I will be back on Monday at 3 p.m. once again, taking you through empowering reflections. And on Monday, we will take on a topic that I am sure will excite you. Have the most amazing Thursday, Friday, and an amazing weekend. And I shall see you on Monday. Love you guys. This is Dr. Gwen, empowering lives to live purposefully and passionately.